Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Hello, Sheila. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. All right. So we are live today to do another teaching and learning opportunity for everybody. We are live on Facebook and LinkedIn and not Instagram, but my Facebook group, the Interior Design Business Forum. So if you're not in there, get in there. And of course, we're live on YouTube. So make sure you like and share so that you get notified of future broadcasts. So I actually should say like and follow for YouTube, not like and share. Share is for other things. So anyway, we are here today to talk about floor plans and how they can increase your effectiveness of selling what you want to sell, and how presenting it to the client properly makes a huge difference in whether you're considered to be a professional or whether you're considered like a hobbyist, right?
Yeah, I think that right now, because of how far we've come with technology, designers, well, their clients are starting to just expect that if I
Yes.
work with an interior designer, I'm going to get a detailed 3D floor plan. I should be able to see everything in the space. So it's just kind of become more of a constant ask from clients. So what we're trying to do is just make sure that designers have the tools that they need to get those visuals across to their clients, help them visualize the space. But also, one of the key things with creating your floor plans is that it helps you as a designer. If you're kickstarting your project with a detailed floor plan, you can have a look at it, know exactly what size furniture is going to fit within the space. And that means when you actually go down to the sourcing part of the project, you're going to be able to do that 10 times faster because you know exactly what you're looking for. So it just kind of helps speed up the process. It makes sure everything is going to be accurate, cutting down on the chances of products being needing to be returned, and just trying to smooth out that whole process so it's good for both you and your client.
And I want to focus specifically on the fact that with the floor plan, you know what you're shopping for, you know what you're sourcing. A lot of designers are still like going sourcing and then trying to fit it into a plan and then realizing, well, I need to go and resource something. So
Yeah,
everyone,
you just double up your workload with that process.
exactly. It's like
So,
doing it backwards, right?
yeah.
So anyway, if you guys don't know Sheila, she is from Design Files, which is a software program for interior designers, and it kind of does everything they need it to do to manage their project. So give them a quick overview of Design Files, and let's get into showing them how they can use some of the top tools that you guys have to create the floor plans that are going to have their designs be accepted from their clients faster and more readily.
Sounds great. So yeah, just to give people a quick overview on what Design Files does. Basically, what we're trying to do is just create an all-in-one platform where you're going to be able to access your design tools and all of your project management tools so that you can handle every aspect of your project from start to finish. And the more tools that we can get into it, the easier and faster it is for you to manage your business. Because if you are using half a dozen different programs, it means your work's fragmented all over the place. It's
Yes.
harder to keep track of. And the nice thing about also having your tools in one place is not just that they're in one place, but they can actually start communicating with each other. And then you really start to allow for your process to automate a lot of the tedious, more time consuming tasks that you don't want to deal with, which also speeds things up and makes you more profitable. So that's
Yes.
ultimately the goal. And today we're going to be focusing on the 3D floor plan feature within Design Files so that we can help you create more realistic visuals to really get your vision across to your client and to make sure that you are sourcing for the correct items for that space so you're not having to come back and do the process all over again.
Okay, sounds good. So you're going to share your screen and we're going to disappear so that you can give a little tutorial. I'm just going to wait for it to come up. Right now it's okay,
All
there
right.
we go. All right, I'm going to hide me first, then I'll bring up the screen and then I'll hide you.
All right, sounds good. Let me know when I'm good to go.
Okay, Sheila, you're good to go.
All right, awesome. So I'm not sure if some of you were able to watch the previous Facebook Live that Nancy and I did together. The last time we spoke, we talked about creating mood board designs that would allow you to create detailed room designs like this that you can share with your client. There are a lot of designers that like to create mood board designs like this, and they're great because they do allow you to get all of those products into one space. You can really give your client a sense of how everything's going to work together. But like any mood board software, it's not to scale. It's really just you eyeballing pieces into place to give your client an idea of the overall look. So if you like the idea of kickstarting all of your projects off with a detailed floor plan so that you can ensure that all of the items are going to be accurate and you have a really good sense for the best layout of the space, you can use the 3D floor plan software within DesignFiles, and that will allow you to create detailed floor plans like this. But it also allows you to create more kind of 3D top downs and 3D renderings all at the same time. So you've got different ways that you can approach sharing these designs with your client to help them understand how everything's going to work within their space. So I figure we might as well just kickstart from the very beginning of how you would go about creating a floor plan within DesignFiles so you can get a sense for how it works. So we'll kickstart by just adding a design to this project. And you'll see that I have the option to choose either mood board or floor plan. So I'm just going to click right into the floor plan option. We're going to let that load in. And when it loads in, I'm actually just going to delete this one that I was working on just a few minutes ago. And we're going to kind of kickstart it all from the beginning again. So when you log into the floor plan, you're going to come into this view where it's just your empty grid and you've got this right side panel over here. And the first thing that you can do is you can start building out your floor plan. And there's different ways that you can approach that. You can use some of these empty templates over here, these room templates. So if the configuration of your client space is similar to one of these, you could just click on it, move your mouse out to the grid, click anywhere on the grid, move out your mouse, and click to release. And if I do that, you can see the measurements are showing on the walls here. Now, there's different ways that I can edit these walls. So if you didn't nail it when you created your first square, it's not a big deal. All you have to do is click into any of the fields where it shows the measurement, and you can adjust it. So if I wanted this to be 15 feet instead, I would just put 15 in by using my keyboard, and I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to shorten the wall. And then I can do the same thing down here, 15 and enter, and it'll shorten the wall. And then I can also just pull the wall out if I want to. So I can just click it and grab it. And when I say click and grab, I'm using the left button on my mouse. I'm just holding that down to move it around. And I can also use the left, right, and up, down arrows on my keyboard if I want to move it 1 inch at a time. So it just gives you a lot of flexibility for just kind of getting your walls exactly the way you want them. Now you do also, if your client's space is a little bit more, I don't know, complicated than some of the templates that we have here, that's totally fine too. You also have a wall tool over here. So if you wanted to, you just click on a wall, and then you're going to click anywhere you want on the grid, and you're going to click your way around the grid and create a space that matches your client's home. And if you do this, one of the things that you do want to keep in mind whenever using any floor plan software is that you need to close off the space. You cannot leave it open like this. The system needs to understand where it's going to be placing paint, flooring, and all these other options. So it needs to have an enclosed space. So you just close it off, and you'll know if you've done it correctly because you'll see the floor plan turn to light blue. If I click out of it, it'll have a light gray in the inside, but you won't see the grid. So you know you're good to go. And then, of course, you can just adjust your walls as you need. Now, if you do already have a floor plan that you got from a builder or from your client and you want to use it to just kind of quickly trace that floor plan within the DesignFiles system, you can do that as well. And a lot of our designers have been doing that just to speed up the process. So over here,
I just want to stop you for a second and make sure we answer questions as we go along.
Sure.
Just in case we don't get too far from it. So Leslie's asking, can wall measurements be more accurate than 1 inch?
Then 1 inch. Let me just punch this in here. So if I wanted to, so if I want to make this 12.75, hold on a second. Let's see if I can do this.
Yeah, like that's what she's asking. Can it go be fraction? Like, can you do fractions of inches?
It looks like, no, right now I wouldn't be able to do a fraction. So I can talk to the team and we could break that down and see if we can build in additional options where you can go into a 0.5, 0.75, 0.25.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I'm going to close this out for now. And let's, if we were going to go back to uploading a floor plan image, over here, you do have the option to do that. So we would click upload here, and then you'll be able to select a file from your computer. Now, when you select a file from your computer, if you have a digital file like this for your floor plan and you want to use it within DesignFiles to trace out this floor plan, the first thing you need to do is basically take one of the longer lines in the floor plan and you need to map it out. Okay, so I'm just clicking and holding and I'm going to draw the full length of this area right here. And if this is 15 feet, we need to tell the system, okay, this line right here is 15 feet. I think I got numlock on here. Let me see if I can, there we go. And we're going to now hit save. And then now that I've done that, what I can do here is I can start tracing out this floor plan. So you can see that it's been added to the system for me. Here, I can start drawing out on top of this floor plan so that I don't have to start thinking about, oh, did I get this wall exactly where I need it to be? It's just a much quicker process for you. And we can just map this out. And then what we'll do is, once I've closed this off, the next thing I can do is I can start adjusting this, just kind of move it an inch here or there to correct it. Because you might not get it 100% when you go around here, so you can always adjust it after the fact. Okay. So here, this is supposed to be 3. So we've got the 3 now. I can shift this one over. So we'll bring this over for 5. We're going to bring this over. So we've got our 5 and 15. And then I can clear out my floor plan that I originally added and use this to start as my floor plan that I'm now going to be editing and adding all of my finishes, my flooring, my furniture, and everything else too. So it's just one way that you can go about using it if you have a floor plan already and you want to speed up the process. Okay. So we'll delete this one because I actually do have a floor plan that I want to be focusing on for this particular design. So we're going to open up this one right here. And I do want to try, I'm going to try one thing here, Nancy, because I had numlock on my keyboard there. So I actually want to test this out. Okay. And see, yeah. So this is 6.6. You absolutely can. I think I had my numlock on and it was causing the issue for adjusting the wall.
Well, that's 6 feet, 6 inches. Can it go 6 feet, 6.5 inches?
Gotcha. Okay. So yeah, so I would have to, I wonder if I can just kind of add in, no. Okay. So, all right. I just wanted to double check on that. So what I'll do is I'll talk to the team and see if we can go ahead and get a little bit deeper into that. Okay. All right. So we've got our floor plan here that we're going to start building out. I've already added the walls. And what I want to do now is I want to start adding doors, windows. We can look at adding some paint, trim, and everything else that we're going to use to build out this design. So the first thing that I can do here is I'm going to pop into the door, window, and trim library, and we're going to go into the door options. You'll see a number of options that are available to you, different styles, different stains, finishes, and you can just pick the ones that you want to use. So if I click into this door right here and I'm going to add it, well, actually, let's add it over here to this bathroom area. You'll see that it's going to anchor itself to the walls. So you can't just place it anywhere. It's going to anchor into a wall, and then you can decide exactly where it is that you want to place it within that specific wall. And over here, you get to change the dimensions of the door. So you can change the width and you can change the height. And if you want to change the door swing, you would change it here. Okay. You also have options for open entrances as well. So if you want to, if your space just has a large opening instead of an actual door, then you can use the entrance option here. And again, we can adjust the dimensions of that and place it exactly where we want it to be within this particular floor plan. And I'm just going to go ahead and add another set of doors right here for the French doors. And again, if I wanted to adjust it, I would adjust the dimensions here. Okay. The next thing that we can do is we can start looking into adding in some windows. Again, lots of options to choose from. Click on the window that you want to add, place it within your floor plan, and then you can just shift it around and place it exactly where you want. And here you can adjust the distance from floor, the width, and the height. Now that I have doors and windows in, we could actually probably pop into the 3D perspective mode up here. So you can see I'm currently in the floor plan mode. This is the 3D top down. Cool. And this is the 3D perspective over here. And that allows you to rotate the design around and see it from all angles.
It's amazing.
Okay. So let's start adding in some paint to the walls. We've got the paint library right down here. These are the collections that are currently available, and you can jump into any of the collections and browse by color name or color code. And if you find a color that you like, then you can just go ahead and click directly on that color, go over to one of the walls within your floor plan, click on it, and then you'll see that you can apply it to just this room, to all the walls. So if you had multiple rooms in this floor plan, you could apply this paint color to all of the walls, or you can apply it to just the selected wall if you wanted to create an accent. I'm going to apply it to just this room. And then from here, we could start looking at adding in some trim. So back up to the door window and trim library. I'm going to add in some baseboard, click on an option, click on a wall, apply it to the room. And then you can do the same thing for chair rail, crown molding, etc. Okay.
Nice.
Down here, you've got a flooring library as well. So there's lots of different options when it comes to hardwood flooring, tile, carpet, and you can just select a type of flooring that you like, click on the floor, and it's going to load it in. In this particular case, I'm going to stick with the lighter color. So I'm just going to hit the undo button up here just to back it up to my last design or my last save. And from here, what we could probably end up doing at this point is start adding in some furniture and just build out the overall layout for this floor plan design. Now, I've actually put together, let me just see if I have, give me 1 second, Nancy. I'm just going to stop my screen share for just a second, and then I can bring it back in. Let's see here. Perfect. Okay. So let me pop back into the live studio here. We'll get my screen share back on. All right. Let me know if that's showing on your end.
It is. I'm bringing it up. Okay, there it is.
Okay, great. So over here, you've got your product library. Now, anytime you're using a 3D floor planning system, it'll always come with a set number of 3D models that you can use. So within the design file system, we've got about 70,000 3D models that you can pull into your designs. There are products in there that are from Williams-Sonoma, Crate & Barrel, Hooker Furniture, Restoration Hardware, Wayfair, and a variety of other locations. A lot of the time when you get access to 3D models, I will say that it tends to be the larger retailers that were a lot quicker in getting the 3D models built for their collections. But the good news is that a lot of the trade vendors are now starting to get on board with this as well. And we're seeing more and more of those products getting built out. So as they do, we'll be adding those products into the system so that you can use them as well. But in the interim, you can always just search for a particular type of product. And in this case, if we wanted to look for a sectional, we would punch that in, and you'll see a variety of options that are available. And you can pick one that kind of closely resembles the sectional that you are recommending for your client space, and then fit it into the design where you'll be able to adjust the measurements of that model so that it fits, so that it basically matches the product that you're recommending. Now, I'm actually going to use one called the Tailor sectional, which is right here. I'm going to bring this one in. You'll see that there's a rotation arrow right here. So if I want to rotate this around, I click onto that and I can shift it around and place it where I want. And anytime you have an item selected, you'll be able to change the dimensions right here. And you can also change the color of the product as well. So if I pop into the 3D perspective mode, you can see I've got a white sectional here. We're going to click into it. And I'm going to use the color option right here. It'll open up a color field, and then I can start adjusting this to make this whatever color I want to match or closely match the fabric option that I'm recommending for my client space.
Okay.
Now here I'm going to reset it because I just want the basic white one. And I have picked out a number of products that we're going to be using for this floor plan just to kind of make it faster to get through this because we only have so much time together. Right. So I am going to go ahead and just pull in some of these items. So we'll bring in this product right here. You can have a look through the system. There's loads of lounge chairs, coffee tables, lighting fixtures, whatever it is that you want to look for, you're going to find it in the system. But I'm going to just go ahead and put in a few key ones. Now, when you're creating your floor plans or mapping them out, you can choose to move things around in the 3D mode. So if I click on this 3D model, you'll see the selection circle. If I click anywhere within that, I can move this item all over the floor plan. For me personally, I like to jump back into the floor plan mode because I can see things top down, and it also shows me the measurements radiating out from this item. So I can see exactly how far away it is from the walls, or basically where it's going to be placed within this space. And in this case, I do want to change the dimensions of these chairs here because I don't want them to be as large as that. So you can customize any of the models that you add in. When I customize this model and change the size of it, if I wanted to now duplicate this to have 2 of these chairs, I can now use the duplication tool here instead of going back to the library, pulling in the chair and adding in the new measurements all over again. So just click on the one that you've already customized, click the duplicate tool here, and then you can add that in.
Nice.
All right. Now, if we go back, let's say that we're going to bring in a rug here. All right, so there's lots of rug options in here as well. I'm going to adjust the dimensions of this one too. And I can just kind of place it exactly where I want within this design. When I click off of this, you're going to see that it's going to sit underneath the sectional and the 2 chairs that I've already mapped up. So if you're trying to show your client kind of a top-down view of everything, everything will layer into place. But when you have it selected and you're shifting it around, it just kind of comes to the forefront. So let's go ahead. We'll jump into our 3D perspective mode and just kind of get a sense for how this is working. And if I start bringing in, let's bring in the chandelier, because this acts a little differently than most pieces of furniture. Anytime you bring in a model to the 3D floor planner, it's going to anchor to the floor. So if I place it here, you're going to see that the chandelier is sitting on the floor right here. Now, it does that just because it's got to anchor to something, but when you place it within the floor plan, you do have an option over here where you can adjust the distance from floor. So I can just bump this up. I can use this here. I could choose to use the measurements in here if I want to. And also even on the actual product here, there's an up-down arrow so that you can bring it up and down depending on what your preference is for how you like to work. Nice. So there's lots of ways of going about it. All right. Now let's see here. We can bring in, I'm also just going to quickly bring in a coffee table. And again, I'm going to go into the floor plan mode because I just want to see exactly where I want to place this. And I'm actually going to shift this chandelier so it's just centered directly over the coffee table. All right. So you can see how it kind of starts to come together. Another thing that's handy as well when you're dealing with creating 3D floor plans, let's look at adding in something like a pillow to a sofa. So we're going to take this product right here. This one right here, I'm going to bring it in. When I bring this in, you're going to see that it starts to recognize the surfaces of everything.
Nice.
So if I want to place it on top of the sectional, I just click over here. It's already realizing the surface there. If I rotate this around a little bit, you'll see the rotation arrow. So I can rotate this pillow around. And I can use my left, right, and up, down arrows to kind of place it where I want it to be. Now in this case, I probably would sink this down a little bit because you can see that it's got a bit of an arch here. So like the corners of this pillow are sitting on the seat, but I want to drop it just so it looks like it's sunk into the actual sofa and gives a more realistic look. And then I can also, of course, grab this, pop into my floor plan mode if I wanted to just kind of see exactly where this is being placed, duplicate it, rotate it around, and place it elsewhere within the design. And bring it right back.
Nice.
Now you can do, you can add artwork to the walls as well. So let's have a quick look here. This is the one that I was going to use. Now, with the artwork, you could choose to just, again, click here, click directly on the wall. The system's going to recognize the surface and it's going to place it. So then you can just kind of slide it up and down the wall, and you can use your left, right, and up, down arrows to center it if you like. Over here, you can change dimensions as well. So it just gives you the ability to kind of customize the art pieces and pick something that's going to be the appropriate fit for the space. In this case, I'm actually not going to add it to that wall. We're going to put it along the back wall here. And I do want to show you one extra element here. So I'm going to just pop into the floor plan mode just so I can see exactly where I'm placing this. I'll zoom in, and I'm just going to increase the depth of this art piece so you can see it a little bit better, because sometimes when you're dealing with art, it's very thin. And then I'll duplicate this and add it over here. I just want to have like a large block of squares on this particular wall here. And I'm going to just place that a little bit better. That's the fussy part of me coming out. I'll try to be good. Okay, so I've got this one. If I wanted to group these two together so I can move them all at once, I'm just going to hold down Shift and click on the other one so I can group them together. And then if I go into the 3D perspective mode here, now what I'm going to be able to do is bring this up. And then again, I can use my left, right, and up, down arrows so I can shift things all at once and not have to shift one and then shift the other one and try to match it all up. So you can group items together just to kind of make it easier to rearrange the space. It also comes in really handy if you were piecing together a lot of individual elements of a sectional, because you can do that within the floor plan as well. If you wanted to have a different arrangement for a sectional, you can actually group together the components and then arrange your own custom sectional and then move it all at once. So things like that, having the grouping tool, make it a lot easier for you to move that sectional around and try in different compositions and also color the whole thing. So I can show how that works if you guys feel like that would be helpful.
I would show it. I think that's very cool.
Okay, so let's go ahead. We're going to look for a sectional. I'm just going to have a quick scroll through here to see. Here we go. This is one where we've got all the individual components for this sectional. So let's go into the floor plan mode here. I'm going to take this corner one. I'm going to take this one right here.
Oh, so you could actually group them together, just the two of them, but you could do that with more pieces as well.
Absolutely. You can group it all together. And then I could take something like, let's see here. We'll take this one. Rotate it around. Group this together. I'm going to click on one, hold down Shift while I'm clicking the rest of them. Group all of these together. And then if I go into the 3D mode here,
wow.
Now I can shift this entire thing all over the place.
Very cool, because you group them together.
Yeah, so it just makes it easy, especially if you want to try out a specific floor plan, but you want to do different arrangements within it and then show your client different options for how they can lay out the space. It just makes it easy to start shifting things around. Okay, so let's see here. We are already at
I know, I was looking at the time, but this is amazing.
Okay.
So through DesignFiles, then they can have their client view this once they complete it, and they can do all their accessorizing and everything through here, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you could save your design right here. If you want to save the floor plan, the 3D top down, the 3D perspective, just make sure all of these are checked. You can go into the setup render mode. When you go into the render mode, it allows you to rotate your design around from all angles, and you can pick the angle that you want to take your rendering from. You can change the sun position on it as well if you like.
Oh, I like that.
And then you can zoom in, zoom out, kind of pick your angle, and then just go ahead and start your render. And then you'll be able to save these renderings to your project and then share those with your client so they can get a sense for how the space is going to look as well.
Amazing. Amazing. So we are going to highlight features every single month from DesignFiles that allow a designer to utilize the tools in DesignFiles to manage their projects, to do their renderings, to do their floor plans, and manage their whole client through this portal. to show them that this is worth them bringing on board, because it'll reduce their tech stack, is what I like to call it. Less programs that do more things for you, so that you're not using all these different programs all over the place and trying to get them into your client. This is a one-stop shop.
Absolutely. And the one thing, if I do have just a couple of minutes here, just to kind of show, there's a feature that we're just about to launch. I'm really excited about it.
All right, let me bring it
back. A lot
back
of requests. This feature is going to allow you to customize walls within the DesignFiles floor planner. So you'll be able to create bathrooms like this, where you can do cutout niches. You can add tiles to the walls, different tile options.
Oh,
you can create different structures like this within your bathroom for different layers. You'll be able to do kitchens as well, where you can add in your backsplashes. Bathrooms like this, where you can add in little bench shapes. You can create extrusions, so you can add benches. You can do negative extrusions, which would allow you to do the niches within your floor plans as well. And fireplaces. You can do your own custom fireplaces.
Yay!
So it's so cool, because it opens up so much more flexibility to customize the space. And once we launch the wall editing feature, we're going to extend that to floors and ceilings as well. So it will allow you to do slope ceilings,
coffered ceilings, and all kinds of
exactly all of those different options, so you can really start to enhance those floor plan designs.
Oh my God, this is so good. Okay, I'm bringing.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing now.
Yeah, stop sharing. So, oh my God, amazing, Sheila. Okay, so tell everyone how to find DesignFiles and how you allow them to use it for free for a little while.
Yeah, absolutely. So anybody who's interested, if you want to just go and test out the tools, you can go to www.designfiles.co. And if you go there, you'll see that there is an option to do a free trial. The free trial allows you to test out all of the tools within the platform for one client project. So you can create as many design boards, floor plans, invoices, quotes, whatever you want to create within that project. And it'll really give you a chance to just test everything out, see if it's the right fit for your business. And if it is, great, then you can choose to upgrade to one of the subscription plans.
Okay, so I recommend DesignFiles to all my profit insiders who aren't currently using a software program or they're using one that they don't like. It's like, come on over to DesignFiles, try them out with one client and see if it works for your brain. Because listen, we all know there's different coaches for different people. There's different softwares for different people. It depends on how your brain works. But what I love about DesignFiles is that they're responsive to their clients. They're trying to make the upgrades as to improve the program constantly, like we were saying before we went live, right? It's a constant level of improvement. So everyone we put the link in the description, go hop over to DesignFiles, check them out, try them for free. And of course, use them for your design projects, because it's really a system that's going to help you sell more projects, make more money, and make your life, your operations smoother and easier. That's my pitch, and I believe it. Otherwise, I wouldn't say it.
I'm not serious. Say anything. Nancy's already done it.
I'm telling you, it's like, to me, when someone says I don't have anything, I'm like, okay, it's time for you to get something. It's okay not to have anything in the beginning when you're sort of like a interior designer hobbyist, but when you really want to make a business out of this, you've got to present like a business and have a system that is professional. And this is one that I think should be in everyone's arsenal. So I thank you once again, Sheila, for coming in and doing this live demo for us. Do we know what next month's demo is?
Well, I do, but I'm not going to tell you, because it's a very exciting new integration as well. So I'm saving it. It's a surprise. You're going to have to wait.
Okay, everyone. So look for us next month. I don't even know what date it is, but look for our little learning opportunity posts. And Sheila is always great about posting an event link so you can mark your calendar. So look for that here in the group, the Interior Design Business Forum, and all the other places we're streaming. So thanks, Sheila. I will see you next month.